Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. I have no notes. We're just going to wing it today. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I'm running on fumes, friends. This month has been so busy. I'm still working on the colored pencil class. I think I will have it up by next Sat Chat. Oh my gosh, I love how this one came out. I decided to do a little module on mixed media, like taking mixed media and colored pencils. And this is one that that I did for oil pastel and colored pencil mixed together. And I thought it came out so sweet, and it was very easy. And I use those Caran d'Ache oil pastels actually that I just picked up at the Art Mart in Portland. So that was a really fun one, but there's going to be 6 in that module, and then there's a bunch of full length colored pencil projects that are just colored pencil. It's a lot, and I'm trying to like make sure I distill it down to just the best, most essential information. I actually took one lesson away because I'm like, I just felt like it was got a little too off topic. But yeah, I was actually able to put that one in Critique Club. It's well, I don't know if you can see it on the board behind me. It's up high, that crab back there. And because I get so many questions about bad sizing on paper, so what happened was I was sketching that out with I was going to do watercolor crayons. I was going to do watercolor pencils and just kind of show how those get used. And I'm like, wow, these really aren't looking very bright, and they were the Albert Dürer ones, so you know they're good quality. And I was like, something's wrong here. And then like I started to add water, and it's like stuff just like fell into the paper. It was so pale, and I was like, oh no, bad sizing. And that paper isn't even that old. I've got a sketchbook that I've been using that I made from paper that's like 20 years old. The paper is gorgeous, perfect condition. I feel like the bad sizing that I've been coming across lately has been in newer pads and sketchbooks, and I'm just thinking they don't make it like they used to. There's something in the paper now is not as good as it used to be. Somebody said that it's because they changed from using animal-based sizing to synthetic sizing or vegetable-based sizing, but I don't think so, because I think Arches still uses gelatin sizing, and so they get that from like the byproducts of the meat industry. So like the leftover bones and stuff, they turn that into gelatin, like your Jell-O or your unflavored gelatin that you use for recipes, or the gelatin that's used in sizing, or like in wallpaper size and different glues and things. So I have no problem using that, since it is, you know, it's just leftover pieces that otherwise would get thrown away. They're not killing animals for the sizing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but that might be why. Although, yeah, I don't know why people are saying Arches paper hasn't been holding up as well. All my paper is quite a bit older, actually. I'm still working through stuff. I'm still working through some stuff that I bought when I had my teaching studio open in Bangor. So, I mean, that's kind of wild, right? That I still have stock that's that old, but it's all so good, you know? It's almost like I feel like I need to use up my newer stuff first, because that's not going to last as long as the stuff I have from the late 90s, early 2000s. But it's interesting. It's interesting, that's for sure. So I've been working, mostly just kind of working on the colored pencil class. That's been really really occupying my mind. And I did another library class last night. We scheduled 2 of the Lupin classes because it was so popular. It sold out right away, that or filled up right away, so that the librarian just called me and said, can we do another week? And we did. And so that was that. It went really well. And of course you tweak a little bit between classes. If you see like a part where there's a stumbling block for students, or you see a point where the paper's taking way too long to dry, if we do this step first, you know, and then you just kind of tweak it a little bit. So we were good on time. And the librarian likes to take pictures of like when there's an event, and then post it on Facebook, and so people can see what they missed out on, I guess, and make sure they sign up for the next one. And so she's taking pictures, and I'm not really aware when she's taking the pictures of me, and the woman did me dirty. She did me so dirty. Were the most unflattering photos ever. And I was just like, oh. I was like, I hope you didn't tag me in this post. And I'm like, is that how I look? Oh my word. It was just, and I've been on a diet for 3 weeks. Okay, trigger warning. If you don't want to hear about food, then just skip ahead a few minutes. So I've been on a diet for the last 3 weeks. I have not had a freaking piece of bread in like 3 weeks. I have not baked any bread. I did bake some bread because one of my daughters was coming home. I actually did have one slice 2 weeks ago. Other than that, I've had no bread. Bread is usually a staple of my diet. I have bread every day. No bread for the last 2 weeks. I've been eating. We joined Factor, which is like it's one of those meal delivery kits. It's supposed to be, it's like healthy food. It's like healthy food so you can get on with your goals. You know, get back to your goals. Eat and get back to your goals. You know, and so like yeah, that's got me written all over it. But there isn't too many vegan options. There's usually 2 or 3 a week. So my husband does all the ordering. He'll like if there's he'll get 6 things for me. So if there's 2 vegan options, there'll be 3 of each. Or if there's 3, there'll be 2 of each. And then he picks out the stuff for him. So he'll have it for 2 meals a day. And that's all he has. He'll have one for lunch and one for dinner, and that's it. And he's lost 4 pounds in 1 week. 1 week. 1 week. So I was so happy. A couple days ago, I got on the scale. I'm like, I've lost 3.8 pounds. I'm so excited. And that's in 3 weeks. And that's a lot for me. I can't seem to drop weight very fast. And so I'm so excited. And then I saw those photos that Kelly posted. And so then I'm like, well, I didn't get on the scale. Maybe something's gone terribly wrong. And it looked like I had gained back 1.5 pounds. And I'm like, this is not physiologically possible. I'm not eating enough. I am like just eating the 2 meals a day, meaning 1 Factor meal and 1 either protein shake or 1 like, purple carrot frozen meal or 1 Trader Joe's vegan frozen meal or something. I'm like, it just does not compute. You know, it does not compute. I'm still walking as much as I do every day. It just doesn't make sense. And I was fit to be tied. I was just behind myself. I was so upset. I wasn't beside myself. I was behind myself. I was so upset. And I'm just like, I'm walking the dog. I'm like, okay, it's got to be the sodium. It has got to be the sodium in the prepared food. So today I'm like trying to drink a lot of water and like eat fruit instead of maybe one of those meals because I had a protein shake this morning and I've just been trying to drink more liquids. I am terrible at drinking water and stuff. So that's what I think it has to be because there's just no way. There's no physiological way. And my goal was to drop 10 pounds before I go to France. And then because when I get back from France, well, first I want to look nice in France, you know, because they're probably all these chic people. They're all slim and fabulous and, you know, dressed to the nines and looking terrific. And so, you know, I want to too. And then when I get back, I have my yearly physical like 3 days later. And I don't want like that a high weight on my permanent record of my, you know, yearly physical check-in. I want to be, you know, where I've been. And so yeah, so I had a little freak out this morning, but I'm fine now. I'm not like obsessing or anything. Truly, I'm not obsessing. I was obsessing, but now I'm not obsessing. But anyway, that was like, I was so mad. I'm like, how is this even possible? And meanwhile, my husband 1 week on just eating Factor meals, down 4 pounds. I'm like, come on. Oh, but yeah, it's funny how just like something like that can just like topple the dominoes of your mental health. You know, it's like seeing photo somebody took of you that is not good. And then, yeah, I mean, it's almost like you push or bruise. It's like, I could have not stepped on the scale this morning, you know, but it's like, no, I need proof that that's not how I look, you know? Oh yeah, sometimes we just push the bruise, we push the bruise, we push the bruise. But I'm feeling fine now. I'm over it. I'm fine. I'm gonna stick to my plan because I am a disciplined person, but I'm not gonna obsess, honestly. So Plain April speaking of obsessions, Plain April has been going well. I did miss 1 or 2 days of Plain April. Last Thursday I had yes, was it last week? I guess I already discussed this. So I had a class at the library last week, and I just by the time I got home, I'm just like, I'm done. I do not have any gas in the tank. I need to rest, and so I didn't post Plain April. I think I might have posted one of my colored pencil projects from the class that day, and the day before, I don't know if I posted anything. Oh no, the day before I had 2 days. I missed 2 days. So the day before I tried to do like super duper productive day. I'd watched a video that showed you how to get a month's worth of productivity in 11 hours. And I don't know what I was thinking that I thought I possibly could do this because I'm like, I can do anything. I certainly can do this. If somebody else has done it, then I can do it too. It was like my stance on life. And I got a lot done. I did not get a month's worth of productivity done in 11 hours though. And I was toast by the end of the night. I was just like, I was toast by 9 p.m. I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'm done. And And I did, and so I posted a colored pencil project, and then the next day I posted just some pics from the class that I taught at the library. So that was it. Those are the only 2 days that I missed, and I changed my ways. I decided to, because I've been waking up really early, and I have been sketching. So I usually drink 2 fairly hearty cups of coffee in the morning. And my first one, I'm just waking up and drinking my coffee. I'm a caffeine addict. There's no way around that. And I'll like catch up on videos that I've been meaning to watch on YouTube. And then while I'm drinking the second cup of coffee, I am sketching, and I'm leaving my sketchbook stuff out so that when I get up, it's really handy. I can grab it and start working on a project. I've been collecting a lot of reference photos. I took a bunch in Belfast when I was there. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see all the daily sketches I've been doing. But I took a bunch of photos in Belfast, and I'm working on one of some boats today. And what I'm doing is I'm actually doing the majority of my sketch in the morning, and then when I take a break for lunch, I will finish it up and post it. And that keeps me from working for too long on a sketch. So I'll paint for about a half an hour in the morning, because like in order for my daily schedule to be on track, I need to be out of the shower before my husband has to get up. So that way I don't throw sand in the gears of his morning getting started. I'm an early bird. I'm up around before 6 usually. And so I work for about a half an hour in my sketchbook. And then in the afternoon, if there's anything I want to change or finish up, then I do that. And that's working out really well. I've been doing that for about 3 days now. So it's not like I've been doing it all month. I've been doing it for 3 days. So I guess it's not really a habit yet. But I'm liking it, and I feel like it's way more productive than just sitting and watching YouTube videos while I think about what I'm doing. Because usually what I do is, honestly, I will first cup of coffee, I'm just drinking the coffee, I'm enjoying the coffee, because there's nothing like that first cup of coffee in the morning. I love coffee. I enjoy the smell of it, the taste of it. It's just one of the joys in life for me. I know some people are like, it doesn't taste as good as it smells. I just say they've never had coffee I've made, and I rarely get coffee out because it's always pales in comparison. So I will just enjoy that first cup of coffee, watch some videos that I'm meaning to watch, and then second cup of coffee, I generally would sip it while I scroll, respond to comments, check out what's going on online, which a lot of the things I'm checking out, like just scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram, does not impart any meaning in my day. It's just filling time. And I'd rather fill the time with something more productive and something that's going to feed my soul a little bit more than just empty calories of scrolling. Because really that's what scrolling on social media is. That's like junk food, and the working in your sketchbook is nutrition. Making art is nutritious. Doing things to better yourself is nutritious, I think. Anyway, it's like watching a movie is much more valuable than scrolling social media, in my opinion. And I know that's very rich coming from me, someone who makes their living, making videos on social media. But yeah, I mean, you have to definitely prioritize what it is that you want for your life. Hopefully you find this valuable and it pumps you up and gets you ready for the weekend and gets you inspired to do some more creative stuff. Maybe it lets you know of stuff that I've posted. Oh shoot, I did a painting of some bottles. I did a video on how to use a water brush. I just posted it on Wednesday. And I have another video on how to make, do I have it in here? Where is it? No, I guess it's upstairs. I have a video on how to make a sketchbook strap that goes around your sketchbook that you can tuck your watercolor palette and your pens and water brushes and stuff in it so you have everything ready to go. And then I'm going to have a sketchbook easel video next Friday, so you can build an easy one of those. So easy, so easy. Oh my gosh, does it need a video? Probably not. A photo probably would do, but sometimes it's just nice to see somebody's done it in a video form, and then you're like, I can do that. If she can do it, I can do it. I mean, I think that's definitely what you get here. The stuff that I do is pretty approachable. And what else did I post? I did post the little mini haul I talked about last weekend. You guys wanted to see it, so but you know what? I've used most everything that I bought. I used the rubber silicone brushes with this. This is coming up next week, I think, on YouTube, and I used some modeling paste, and I used the Core Intensity palette. I did a bunch of sketches with a Core Urban Sketch palette in my sketchbook. I didn't film them, but they're on Instagram if you want to see, and I've recorded a review already for the Core Intensity palette, because I've also done a couple other paintings with the Core Intensity palette. In the Core Urban Sketch palette, and I'm working with the granulators right now, but I'm working with the granulators and the Intense palette together. So I'm pleased with my purchases, I have to say, and I think I know why those paints have been cheap. I think it's because Core has come out with 20 new watercolors, and they discontinued 8. and the granulating set has one discontinued color in it, and all the pamphlets that are in the boxes are going to be for the old colors. So I think that they may be just liquidating all of those because all of the literature that's in there and some of the colors may be discontinued, and they're going to probably revamp them, come out with new sets. That's my thoughts on the matter. And when I was on Blick, because the Urban Sketch palette sold out, because that's what I do. If I see a good deal, I tell you guys about it. If you're interested, you can grab it. If you're not, then ignore me. But they've sold out. And on Blick, you can get them for $35. I paid $22 on Amazon, or $21.75 if you want to be specific. And when I looked at the description on Blick, they listed neutral tint instead of Payne's Gray as the final color in that Urban Sketch set. So either that's a typo on Blick or they changed the palette, because the photos they have still show Payne's Gray. And I got Payne's Gray, and I do like that color. I just love the color palette they put together for the Urban Sketch. I'm going to add yellow ochre and sap green to it, maybe an ultramarine blue, because I just use so much ultramarine blue. But it's a wonderful, both them and the intensity sets are wonderful. You can mix whatever you want from them within reason. You can definitely get something that will do the job that you need. But you might take a little longer to get a painting done because you have to, get that specific mix you need. But they're good palettes. They're fun. I've really, really had a good time with them. And yeah, I've used both the Craypas pastels and the Specialist pastels and the Van Gogh one, but I only bought one Van Gogh, so it was fine. And nothing, I liked it. There's nothing, I can't really judge a pastel line from one color, but the sets on Van Gogh pastels are pretty cheap, so I might just buy a small set to review. I was not impressed with the Specialist ones, the square Craypas, to be honest, so I probably won't buy any more of those. They had an odd assortment there, but they were only 99 cents a piece, and I wanted to try them, so I figured this is better than buying a set. I'm going to swatch them all out, but I probably won't be buying any more of those, and I probably won't review them because I don't think I have enough to review. But, and I don't know how old the stock is either, but just from what I can ascertain from those, I'm thinking I probably I'll put them into my regular stock and use them as need be, but they were just kind of streaky and crumbly in my opinion. But take it with a grain of salt. I haven't used them that much and I only have a small assortment of colors. But the Caran d'Ache pastels, man, I really like those. They were hard like the Pentels, but they're very pigmented. Actually, I like the Pentel pastels. I like the Pentels better than those square Specialists that were way more expensive. My Pentels are older, so I don't know. People have said that newer ones kind of smell like oil. I didn't have any smell with mine, but I'm tempted to order a set just to compare. And they, I tend to use them for the bottom layers, so I do go through them a little bit quicker, so I probably could use another set of them. But honestly, though, I have so many oil pastels. I really need to do more oil pastel painting and less pining after oil pastels I don't have. But the Caran d'Ache ones were very nice, and I'm pleased that I purchased them. Blick has them open stock for $3, but if you're buying more than 3, the price drops down to like $2.50 or something. So they're a little bit cheaper on Blick than what I paid in the art store, but not much. And the sets, of course, are cheaper. And Amazon has some good prices on the set, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I really need to just use what I have. Famous last words. But I do feel good about using most of the things that I bought. I haven't used the ruling pen yet, but that's kind of next on my to play with list, I would say. I might use it with, because I have 2 of the Lupin, I have the one Lupin painting that I did on video that's here on my YouTube channel. So if you're wondering what we painted during the library classes, you can find the real-time tutorial where I designed the project on YouTube, and you can follow along and paint. But I have 2 that I did during the class, and the ones I do during the class they're never as good as the original one I do, because for one thing, I'm holding my paper. I brought a watercolor easel there, but I can't really use it while I'm painting because I'm standing and my back is to the students. So I'll hold the block of paper that I'm working on in front of me, and I will paint like this, right? So I'm not looking straight on. I can't get exact perfect brush control when I'm painting like this, but that's how I paint so that everyone can see what I'm doing. And the classes I do at the library are very regimented. I come up with a project, I test out the project, and then I do it step by step with them, because these are not all beginners. I mean, there was this one woman in the class that was just phenomenal, and she said, well, I have to tell you, you got me started. You sparked this creativity in me. And her paintings she showed me on her phone, breathtaking. The detail, the craftsmanship, just mwah, just delightful, just gorgeous paintings. But she was, she's there, she wants to have fun. She painted a gorgeous painting. Everyone's painting was a little bit different. Everybody had different ability levels, but I'm trying to do step by step. So everybody, no matter if they've ever picked up a brush before or they're an expert, they have something to follow along with, because I think it's very intimidating for adults to be like, okay, just work on whatever you want to work on. This is an art group where you work on whatever you want to work on. And I don't think people would come, honestly. And you know what else is kind of funny about that is before I used to do a monthly watercolor class at the library for free. Anybody could come, and I would struggle to fill the class. Like, I would have people, like, I'd have like 2 people show up. Sometimes I'd had nobody show up, and that was when it was free. And when the new librarian took over, she's like, we're charging $5 a class. And now we fill up. We fill up right away, and we have waiting list. So it's like, riddle me that. When it's free, nobody values it. But when you charge $5, it's a nominal fee, then people value it. It's weird. It's kind of like there was this study that was done. I don't know if this actually correlates with the library class thing, but there was this study, I think in Sweden, where they do all the studies in Sweden. It seems like, I don't know, take it for a huge grain of salt. I don't exactly remember where it took place, but I do remember the research. I heard about it. I think I read about it in Freakonomics. I don't know. You can't trust my sources. This is not a video essay. Take it for what a grain. But anyway, it was this daycare, and parents were showing up notoriously late. They'd be 5 minutes, 10 minutes late every day, and the providers were fed up. And so they're like, they decided they were going to charge, I think it was like $5, and they were going to charge $5 if you're late to pick up your kid. You're going to charge $5 for every hour you're late. And if it was like even 5 minutes late, you're going to be charged $5. But what they found was that people were leaving their kids there an extra hour because they didn't feel guilty for leaving them. They didn't feel guilty leaving them longer since they were paying the extra $5. So I don't know if that correlates or not, but I thought that was kind of funny that that encouraged more people to leave their kids there longer, because I guess it was like a guilt. Their guilt was absolved because they would pay the $5, and it was like an agreed upon arrangement. So the daycare providers didn't get what they wanted, which was to have people pick up their kids on time. It kind of backfired on them, but hopefully the extra money they made up for it. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyway, but the class went great. It was a lot of fun. I need to majorly clean my palettes and everything, because it's like I have a setup to teach 20 people on the go in watercolor, and I've mentioned this before. I got a good deal on sets of 24 Aquafine watercolors from Jerry's Artorama. The sets were regular $50, and I got them for $10 because they were liquidating them. They had an overstock sale, and so I bought 20. And this was before I KonMari'd, so I was like, I was kind of like at this point in my life where I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to teach in person anymore. What am I doing? I have all this stuff like stockpiled for if I want to teach in person again. And I was like, is that a fantasy me thing, or is that a reality Lindsay thing? Is reality Lindsay ever going to want to teach in person? And this is the time when, you're in it. Your kids are all like in middle grades. They're involved in so many activities. You're constantly shuffling them around. I had the YouTube channel. I didn't have Teachable going yet, because I didn't have the bandwidth to do online classes yet. I was just, I don't know, everything had potential, and I just was more piling more on. It was just a weird time, and I just didn't have the bandwidth to deal with everything that I was pulling onto my plate. And so, let's see, what do we have for time? Oh, we have a few minutes. And so I went to Craftsy and I filmed a class. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to teach online classes. This is where it's at. I love this experience. And it was just wonderful. And I came back, and what happened? I decided to KonMari everything. Was that year, or was it the year after? Gosh, my timeline is getting a little, I think it was a year later. It was a year later. I had another class in the works for Craftsy, but Craftsy got bought by NBC Universal, and the class was canceled. And I was just crestfallen. I was so upset. And because, it was like a fairy tale experience to go out there and to film. You were treated like a queen. You were treated like a movie star. It was unreal. And I wanted to do that again. And I'm like, this is what I want to do with my life. I love this. And so they canceled the class. That was the golden age. And what I've realized, what happens with a lot of these companies, especially these internet startups, is that they have all this venture capital money and they just shower everybody with money when you're first starting. All the original hires, all the developers, all like the teachers they would bring in for those classes. I mean, it was just like, it was lush. The catered meals, all your meals were catered. Everything was on the company expense account. You were like wined and dined. It was wonderful. And that is not sustainable. And I remember thinking, how are they going to make enough money to recoup their costs on this? Because a class would cost about 30 grand to put out. And I mean, because there were producers, there were 3 producers, there was a talent coach, there was 3 people there when you're filming, there was a director and 2 camera people. So there was a director, a producer, and a camera person. So it's like, how do they make money on this? And the selling the classes usually around $20 a piece. And I mean, I just couldn't figure it out. And what I then learned is that these companies don't make money. Their goal is to get a good evaluation and then sell. And that's what they did. They sold to NBC Universal, and then NBC was like, we've got all this content, we're just going to make money off the content, we're going to cancel the stuff that's that hasn't been contracted out yet, and we're just going to milk all the content until there's no more milk, until the teats run dry, I guess. And that's what they did. They sold classes for a while, and then when everybody had bought what they wanted to buy, then they went to a streaming service, and that's when all the earnings pretty much dried up for the teachers. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that's how things tend to go. But like me, naive person, was like, wow, this is so amazing. So I was really fed up when they canceled my class. I'm like, well, you know what? I will do my own class. And when I decided that, I think I had KonMari'd, and I think they gave me the confidence that if I can like get rid of half of my crap and get my life in order, then I can also teach online classes. I had the confidence to do that. And so actually it worked out to be the best thing that ever happened to me was them canceling my class. And I find a lot of things like that, a lot of disappointments end up making me more resolved to figure it out and do better and be better. And yeah, so I don't get knocked down for too long. I get knocked down, but I get up again. I get knocked down. Oh, but that's it, friends. There's Snapchat in a nutshell. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to have a podcast up tomorrow talking about Creativation and NAMTA, the trade show. I'm talking to Becca Hilburn on the podcast. I'm actually recording it right after this. So thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye!